Alrighty, hello and welcome to the first ever video on the account FaladorMines. Um, this account is pretty old now, as you can see, 123 days playtime. I've been playing on this account for about 3 years, and this is the first time I've decided to actually sit down and try to record something. So I might end up trying to do this as a monthly thing, but most likely I won't, but we'll see. So a little bit of history on this account. So first, I suppose I should probably talk about the restrictions. This account is restricted entirely just to the Falador mines, so just this area that you're seeing here and Motherlode. Originally, when I made the account, I intended it to be kind of a more rigorous underground only, where I was planning on using the minecart to Keldegrim to get back and forth, and then minigame teleports to the Tazar area and to the blast furnace. So because of that, I originally went out right at the start of the account and I started Giant Dwarf so that I could actually use that minecart, but I ended up spending all of my time at the beginning in just the Falador mines, and after a while I had spent enough time here that I just decided it would be better to just stick to just this area and kind of see how far I could get doing that. So never actually used the other areas, but that was the original intention. So that's kind of the basis of the account. It's just a pretty strict, no real exceptions. I guess the only thing I've done that's a little bit different than what most people do is I kept all my starting items. So I still have like, let me see, like the short bow and stuff that comes. I don't even see it in here. Like the short bow that you get off of Tutorial Island, stuff like that. But other than that, I still have my tinderbox even though I can't use it. So a lot of this stuff, I think that short bow is really the only thing that I couldn't get again if I were to lose it. But this account, it is a hardcore. Currently actually on the front page for mining. I just got that earlier this week. So I guess a history of kind of the grinds that I've done on this account. The first big grind was to get the Rune Scimitar. I don't have it equipped right now. This guy here was a beast, and it's my best in slot weapon in this area, unless I get really lucky on mystery boxes and pull a dragon spear out of my ass, which is definitely not going to happen. So this guy right here is best in slot, and this took me over a year to originally accomplish. Just the smithing level 4, never mind the magic level, which I'll get into. So really the only way of training smithing in my chunk, or in my restricted area, just due to not having a furnace, is through water wheels, which are over here in the Motherlode mine. So there's 2 wheels per world that can be broken, and I basically just run back and forth between those guys and repair them. Back when I was grinding for 90 for the Rune Scimitar, they still had a world hop limit back then. So I was doing, it was about 15 world hops before you ended up having to do something else like mining. So I could only repair at a maximum 30 wheels at a time. So I was averaging at that time around 12,000 XP per hour, all the way up until 90. Since then, they've removed that restriction, which is really nice. So if I just want to train smithing, I can just basically train to my heart's content without ever hitting that wall. But so I've since, as you can see, gone past past 90. It's actually my current goal is to max the skill out entirely from water wheels, so that'll be really cool. I think I'm closing in on 100,000 repaired, and I will be over 100,000 repaired by the time that I hit 99. So a lot of water wheels. right now I can probably get upwards of, I would say maybe 40k per hour if I was really paying attention, but when I play I tend to just be pretty lazy about it. So I think probably all the way up until now I've averaged maybe like 25k per hour since 90, and before that it was a lot slower. So that's smithing. As for mining, I have a ton of mining XP, but it's probably not from what you're expecting. One of my goals on this account is 99 crafting. So I originally had to lamp up to 20 to be able. My only crafting method is to craft gems. So I originally lamped up to 20 to be able to craft sapphires, and since then I've crafted just regular common gems up until 73. So um, the other thing I've done though is I've collected 100,000 amethyst. So I recently just broke this milestone as well and got the white stack. So that's where pretty much all of my mining XP has come from since 92 is from doing amethyst. Um, Once I hit 83 crafting off of regular gems, I'll be able to craft amethyst all the way to 99. As it currently sits though, I need 176,000 amethyst, so I'm pretty far past halfway done on this. Or maybe it was 172,000, I'm not quite sure. But crafting regular gems is going to be kind of the harder part, getting to 83. Not quite halfway yet. We're getting there. We still got a ways to go. But once I finish out the amethyst grind, I'm not sure if I'm going to. I might switch to motherlode mine and try to get like a white stack of coal and a white stack of some of these other ores, and maybe work on a white stack of iron as well. I think that's probably what I'll end up doing because long term I want to go for 200 mil mining anyways. Um, so I think motherlode mine is better XP per hour for sure than amethyst. Amethyst, if I'm really paying attention, um, I can average like 24k per hour, but in reality, I usually end up somewhere more around like 16,000 XP per hour. So this right here is quite a lot of hours, probably around 1,500 hours worth of mining amethyst. Um, so that's kind of the big points there. So 99 crafting, that's kind of the long-term goal right now. When I started out on it, it didn't really seem attainable at all, but 3 years later, we're making some pretty steady progress towards it. And I think it's pretty realistic that in the next couple of years, I'll actually end up with 99 crafting. Um, 99 smithing, I'm hoping to have this done by the end of the month, actually. There's, it's either going to be at the end of the month or sometime in February I should max this completely, which is going to be really cool. Because this is kind of just a really sweaty, click-intensive, not very AFK at all skill, so it'll be really nice to kind of knock this one out and be able to focus on some other activities when I'm paying attention. I do play a main on the side usually, so a lot of times I just AFK Amethyst, but when I'm feeling motivated or if I have to play on mobile, I'll do Water Wheels. I think after smithing, I might go for front page. I gotta check. I think front page is like maybe 15 million XP or 14 mil or something like that. So it's really not that far past 99. So I think long term, maybe by the end of the year, I'll try to go for front page smithing, but I'm not going to do that for a while after I hit 99 probably. Um, Besides that, I think active goals after I finish off smithing, I might try to do a 99 combat. So I'm either going to do strength or ranged. I think I might start out with ranged just because it's a lot more click intensive, having to pick up bolts and put them back in my pocket every time. Um, but I've got a few different methods for ranging. I've got knives, so I pretty much exclusively train on dwarves, and they have a chance of dropping bronze bars and iron bars, and there's an anvil right next to them. So when I train, they drop bronze bolts, and then I can make knives as I train over here. Um, so I've got the knives option. Then I've got bronze bolts. I actually have a phoenix crossbow. You can drop these to any account without having to leave an area. So I just basically got these on my main and then used them on my character. You don't even have to start the quest to be able to do that. So I think it's Shield of Arav here. So this guy, you don't even have to start it or leave the area at all. Any restricted account can get a Phoenix crossbow, which is cool. So that allows me to use bolts, and then I get a lot of bronze and iron arrows from maze randoms. So the short bow that I took off Tutorial Island allows me to use those up. So I can pretty much use any ammunition that I get, which is really neat. So I think 99 range is actually pretty attainable once I start it. I think right now I'm not quite at a million XP, but maybe soon. I think when I was training it was maybe like 14 or 15,000 XP per hour, so it's not that bad. So I might go for 99 on that first, just because it's really click intensive, and then when I go to do my melees, it'll be a lot chiller. As for how I have so many of these arrows, as you can see, I've got a lot of the items that you can get from maze randoms. So in maze randoms, there's these little chests that you can open, and you can basically stall the maze random timer by having that interface opened. So when you click the chest to open it, it'll open a text prompt telling you what loot you got. And when that happens, it stalls the timer. So you basically can just sit there until the chest closes, and then when you open it again, it allows one tick basically to go by as it refreshes the prompt, and it'll drop the timer by 1%. So basically anytime I get a maze random, I can open the chest roughly like 90 to 95 times, depending on how lucky I get getting a good maze. Something else I do is I log out and log back in until I get the right tile that has a chest pretty much right next to the spawn. So that's pretty neat. So that's basically the only way that I can get elemental runes. So air, water, earth, and fire runes. Um, Up until I figured out that you could stall the timer like that and basically collect that from that chest a bunch of times. I had originally been lamping my magic because when I would get maze randoms, I would basically just run between two chests, and I'd only get maybe 5 or 6 chests before the maze random ended, um, and I'd end up with like barely any fire runes, because I needed a high magic level in order to cast superheat to be able to get my rune scimitar. Um, so that was the first big lamping grind. I think I lamped up to about 40 magic before we figured out how to basically abuse the maze random to be able to get elemental runes. So since 40, all of this XP has come from maze randoms and just using up runes that I get from those. I've probably spent 20 or 30 hours on this account in maze randoms just collecting that chest. Maybe even more. I spend quite a bit of time there. Every time I get one, I do the whole random, which takes about 2.5 hours if you click the chest as soon as it closes. There's about like a 60-second delay between chest openings, so it's extremely AFK. But so since then, I've been just kind of working on trying to get up to the magic level to cast High Elk, because dwarves do drop nature runes. So I can superheat as well as high elk stuff. So basically, for training, I've just been superheating rune bars, and eventually, once I hit 99 smithing, I'm gonna turn these all into plate legs, which gives me the best GP per fire rune, because fire runes are kind of the limiting factor for me in terms of, um, I guess, superheating and high elking. So that was originally how I intended to collect cash, and I actually do need money on this account, because fletching is actually a skill that I can feasibly train. Um, so over here, there's actually an archery shop. Um, and once you have level 9 fletching, you can create bronze and wooden crossbows. So what I can actually do is that shop sells bronze limbs and wooden stocks. So I can basically combine those for like 9 XP per combination, and then just hop between worlds and get craft or fletching XP that way. So this was the last skill that I needed to lamp. I finished this about a few weeks ago and tested out the method. Um, it's extremely expensive. I think I calculated I need about 157 million GP for 99. So it's like 6 or 7 GP per XP, I think. Um, and when I calculated, I think it came out to about, I want to say 7,000 XP per hour. If you get really sweaty about it and use all the key bindings and stuff like that, you can actually really get some decent rates. Um, so yeah, this guy right here, it's about an hour straight of fletching for 7,000 XP, and that's the only method that I've got going all the way to 99. So that's gonna be probably a really long grind, almost 1,500 hours, I think. So that one's gonna be a lot more long term, because basically I originally thought that superheating and alking rune plate legs was gonna be my best money per hour, basically like my best money method. Um, but we did some digging, and it turns out amethyst, just the amethyst that I'm going to get for 99 crafting, is actually going to be enough to fund fletching, or at least close to. I haven't tested exactly how much they sell for, but if I was able to sell them one at a time, I'd have well over what I need. So I think if I do like 5 at a time per world or something, I'll be able to fund 99 fletching. And honestly, I'm probably going to end up doing more amethyst beyond 176k anyways, just because it's such a good AFK activity, and I'm going to need a lot more gems for crafting in order to get to the level to even be able to cut amethyst in general. And I think amethyst in terms of AFK-ness is probably my best method for doing that, but I'm going to mix it up, I think, once I bank 99. Um, so I'll probably end up with plenty of money for 99 fletching. Fishing, this is all just from Bob randoms. You get 650 XP per random event. And so yeah, I've gotten 37. Originally, I was getting nothing but fishing, but ever since I hit 51 magic, you can start getting magic XP from that random as well, which in my case is actually really beneficial because it's been expediting 55 magic by quite a bit. I've had probably like 10 randoms now go into magic, which is cool. Um, so that's pretty neat. Um, as for prayer, I don't think I'll ever do 99 prayer. I mean, by the time I finish fletching, maybe I'll consider going for as high as I can get it, but honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to do fletching. I'm definitely going to do crafting, and I'm definitely going to work on the combats, which will end up getting me a lot of prayer XP anyways. So we'll kind of see where we're at, I guess, by the time that I max out combats. But this is only like 800 XP. It's less than 1,000 XP per hour, so it would just be an ungodly amount of time doing it. And the methods are not AFK at all. It's very click intensive, picking up drops and running around constantly killing dwarves, and um, so maybe long term I'll consider this. But I think I'd rather just do item hunting anyways once I get to that point. I know maxing would be fun, but I just can't see myself putting in that many hours, so that'll probably be something I'll chip away at, but I wouldn't ever expect to actually finish that. As for item hunting, it's something that I really enjoy as well, so I think I'm gonna craft a white stack of everything I can out of amethyst, and then maybe go long term for another white stack of amethyst. Um, I think at everything except runite might reasonably be able to get a white stack of as well. I mean, I already have almost 10k addy, and I've still got a long way to go to 200 mil, so that one actually might reasonably be able to get a white stack on. I don't think runite is that reasonable. If the bots ever leave the runite rocks, maybe. There's 2 rocks over here that you could hop around and mine, but there's a lot of competition with bots, so I kind of doubt that one. Um, I don't think gems are ever going to get to a white stack. It's taken 3 years straight of mining amethyst, and I'm only at 8,000 sapphires, so that one's probably not going to happen. Um, Minerals, gold nuggets, probably not going to happen. Coins, I think I'll be able to have a green stack of those pretty easily. I do intend on doing a white stack of bronze picks and a white stack of hammers. I've already worked on the hammers quite a bit. I've got a method on mobile where you can basically check the box over by Percy in the Motherlode mine, and you just rapidly tap, and you can basically one tick drop them on the floor. So I can actually get, I think, like 1,500 hammers per hour. So a white stack is only like a 40-hour grind, which is not really that bad, all things considered. And I just think it'd be cool to have like a white stack of just some random item on an Ironman. It might be kind of fun. And then pickaxes are exactly the same. I just decided to start with hammers. Um, I'd like to collect maybe 1,000 scorpion heads too, and I've been kind of collecting some of the cooler items from dwarves. So I didn't start collecting these straight off the bat, but I've started doing it recently, and I'm up to 500 bronze med helms, which is kind of cool. I've got 900 bananas, and this is all just from training magic. I was originally using my water and earth runes by casting. Um, let's see. Whatever, turn on all these filters. I was casting bones to bananas once I hit 15. The XP was pretty dog shit, but I mean, I was kind of scraping for anything I could get at that point. Um, what else? We talked about range. And yeah, I just got a lot of, I do every random event. So I've got a lot of flax. My kebab stack is like off the charts if they ever add any sort of combat to my area, like a real challenge. I think I'll probably just end up smithing rune knives and give it a shot. Um, I don't really know on that, but yeah, now that I'm 98 smithing, I've also got a couple more rune items. So I've got like the full helm, um, kite shield, chain body. Plate legs are incoming soon. I might go for like a nice armory of rune items. I've got all these rune bars, and I don't think I'm gonna need to alch the plate legs anymore. So I might just kind of make like 5 of everything or something, just to have like a cool tab that I can just have all this rune gear in. Just because it's so hard to get in this area with like just the sheer lack of fire runes and stuff. Um, so I think that might be kind of neat. But yeah, I've just got some stuff I've been collecting, just different stuff from mystery boxes and a couple rare drop items here. So a couple talismans. And that's about it. Uh, so that's all I've got. Like I said, I might try to do monthly updates. It might be kind of fun just for myself to be able to watch back over time and see different, just I guess how the account's progressing over time. It is really slow progress, so it's nothing that it'd be like 5-minute videos. You're not gonna see anything crazy in there, but yeah, just like watching the stacks grow over time. I might make a nice spreadsheet just to kind of show, um, I guess, progress on different goals and how much monthly it's increased and stuff like that. Just some cool graphics and walk through it that way. But yeah, it's just kind of a passion account that just been playing on for years, and I intend to continue to play on. So that's all I've got. Thanks for watching.